You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Yeah.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. Season 8 still going strong, people. If you haven't, make sure you do go to thebigscoopwithcoop.com where you can catch episodes from Season 1 all the way to Season 8. Big shout outs to everybody that's watching on Facebook right now, facebook.com/The Big Scoop with Coop. Also, everybody's watching on Instagram. What's going on? IGTV at Big Scoop with Coop. Also, catch me on YouTube. Make sure you click that like and subscribe button at The Big Scoop with Coop on YouTube. Now, enough about me, people. Today's guest, she is an actress, filmmaker, producer. Her name is Nicole Cannon. Nicole has been doing some big things, people. She's actually made a movie that's called Transference that you can catch on Amazon right now. She has a lot of things going on with her. She is a very successful woman. And you know what? I'm going to let you check out the clip of Transference. And after that, we'll be talking to the one and only Miss Nicole Cannon.
I think the monster under the bed at night is born of the parent skeletons in the closet.
You are his special little girl.
Can I have a kiss?
No. It's weird. I don't feel anything really. It's like I'm dead inside. I need you to make me forget.
You're hungover. Are you sure you're in the right headspace to see clients right now?
My dad just died. People process grief differently.
Piper doesn't want to go to bed.
How did you know what her name was?
She told me.
Sadie?
Imaginary friends? I mean, you're a doctor. You know better than that.
This isn't real.
Yes, she is.
It's just a cry for attention.
I miss Piper, Daddy. Can you help me find her?
What does she look like?
She looks like Mama when she was a little girl.
I'm doing some kind of fucked up version of grieving. I help little girls and boys when bad things happen.
All those years you knew what he was doing and you never did anything to stop it.
You have to stay very quiet or he's going to find me.
Sometimes it's best leaving the past alone.
Daddy needed me to help him.
If you tell anyone our secret, I will kill you.
I am not a broken little girl! You're helping me remember, Piper.
I can hold my breath, hoping in the sound of silence I could disappear.
He threatened to kill me if I ever told anyone.
That's when the world went black.
One and only Nicole Cannon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on, Michael. It's so good to see you.
Yes, same to you. Same to you. How's your day going so far?
It's great. I did a yoga class. I'm feeling good. I'm going to go to the beach and celebrate my birthday with my friends, having some champagne on the beach later this afternoon. So life is good.
Wow. Happy 22nd birthday.
Oh. Thank you.
Yes. Now, Nicole, you're lucky because over here in North Carolina right now, we're actually having rain off and on, cloudy, then it gets sunny, then cloudy again. So our weather, we don't know what we want to do over here in North Carolina. So lucky you. Enjoy that time at the beach. Most
Thank
definitely.
you.
Enjoy that birthday. Yes. Now, Nicole, like I said, we talked about earlier about Transference, and I introduced you and everything. They know who you are now. They seen you, but we want to hear the whole story, Nicole. Now, when did you first realize that you want to become an actress?
So I think I had dreams to be an actress as a little girl, but I, grew up in a very academic environment. My dad is an engineer. My sister ended up being a neurologist. And so it was kind of more of a hobby. It was considered more of a hobby. And I was like in drama and ended up in this performance cheerleading squad. So I was always drawn to the arts, always drawn to performance. And then I was going to school for psychology and I was scouted to model. And that took me to Miami, to South Beach, Miami. And it's like heyday when it was like, everybody was going down there to shoot catalogs and stuff. And I started modeling, which led to more like lifestyle kind of shoots and commercials and acting. And then I got the bug and I was like, oh no, I want to do this as a career. And I took a summer workshop at the neighborhood playhouse in New York and I was hooked. And it was like shortly after that I moved to LA to pursue acting full time.
Wow. I see, because, Nicole, a lot of people knows whenever you get that bug and it bites you, there's no turning back. Seriously,
no, and the more I trained and the more I studied my craft, the more I loved it. I'm very empathetic person. And so I loved exploring another character's humanity through, writing and language and plays. And I feel like it's one of the oldest jobs, since the beginning of time. We sat around a campfire and told stories, and, just finding that purpose in storytelling just really made me very grounded in the craft, and I loved it very much. I haven't done it in a really long time. I made the transition to writing in about 2013, just because I wanted to tell better stories. I was going out for a lot of victim roles, and I was feeling very frustrated with the roles that I was offered. So I was like, well, what do you want to say? Why don't you go out and write those movies? So I started writing in 2013.
Wow. And a lot of people is out here, they feel like when they become an actress or an actor, they feel like they have to stick in that one realm of just acting. Like they're scared to pursue out. You start writing, and you see now you are a multi-talented person. You're not just an actress, you're a producer. Basically, you might as well say filmmaker. I mean, you are all of the above. Congratulations to you, Nicole. Please continue to do big things. Please continue. Yes. Now, Nicole, what type of hurdles did you go through? When you went to New York and you started, and your feet start going and going and going. So what type of hurdles did you go through to make it to where you are today?
I mean, I definitely had a lot of self-doubt. I think that was probably just in my life in general. I started walking into those rooms waiting for permission to do my job, and I didn't until I switched that up and I realized that I was there to do the person whose character I was playing service by telling their story and not ask for permission, and taking each opportunity that I got to go on an audition or work on a part as play, as like getting to be able to play with my craft. That switched things up because it changed the intentionality behind it. I was no longer walking in the room looking for validation, looking for approval, looking for permission to do what I knew how to do best. And I think that I think that, to be honest, a little bit of my appearance got in the way because I wanted to get those meatier roles, and I definitely was going up for a little bit more of the ingenue kind of like. I definitely was getting a lot of the day player, kill the day player roles for a really long time, and I wanted those meatier parts that I could really sink my teeth into. So that was a little bit of an obstacle too.
Wow. Now, do you feel that today, in today's time, people that's just coming into this business, that they're so hungry they'll take whatever role it is and they won't speak up to say where they what they really want? Do you feel like that the younger generation is doing that right now?
I think there's definitely, you have to pay your dues. First of all, you can't just like expect to go on set and be green and not know how to, be in front of the camera, how to hit your mark, how to make sure that you are prepared for the scene that day. So I think that, in the beginning, I think it's expected that you have to take some smaller roles. And I think in order to empower your inner storyteller or your inner artist to constantly be training and working on your craft, and maybe getting in a class that allows you to do plays and doing theater, which also allows you to deepen your craft. And then I think now more than ever, we have an opportunity to create our own content, and we have platforms to be able to post that your own content. So even if out there in the business, you're not necessarily, I see the sun is like slowly creeping over and trying to attack me. Even if out there in the business, you're not necessarily going up for the opportunities that you necessarily want, you can go and create those opportunities for yourself right now. I think never before has there been more access to making your own art, making your own films, writing your own stories. So I would just say that to people getting started in the business. Definitely on the business side of things, you might have to take a few roles that you don't necessarily want to do. Definitely have boundaries around that. Like, definitely don't take roles that just feel completely against your own values. Like, be boundaried in this business for sure around that. But as far as just like learning the game, sometimes you got to take some smaller roles. It's just the way it is.
That's true. That's very true. And you know what? You said one thing, Nicole, that really stuck out. A lot of people, right now we're going through COVID. So if you're watching this 10 years in the future from 2020, if you're watching this right now, during this time, COVID-19 is going on. There's a lot of bad things, negative things, but at the same time, what you just said pops out, because the positive thing is this is a time where people can create their own content. They can actually get out there and show the world what you can do instead of somebody saying, here's the script. I think you will look like this part. You will fit this part. This is all I'm giving you. It's the time to show your talent, what you can do.
I mean, the typecasting is definitely a bitch, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
I was definitely going out for so many victim roles to the point that my daughter recognized it. I was like rehearsing a audition in the car driving her piano, and she's like, "Are you playing a dead girl again?" And I was like, Jesus Christ. It's like, this is not, you know, the violence against women thing is not what I really want to model for my young daughter. So the typecasting thing can be really, really difficult. And I think that this is where it's important to have like good representation that really understands you, that kind of is going to make sure that they're putting you out for those roles that are more purposeful in what you're saying as an artist.
That's so true. Now, speaking of that, you know, having good representation, before the representation part, did you have any mentors to help you out in this industry right now?
I would say there were so many people who helped me along the way, but the person who really grounded me in being a storyteller was my acting coach, Diana Castle from The Imagined Life. She really helped me understand how language determines our point of view. Like if I'm working on a story and it says, I have to go to a party later versus I want to go to a party later, those are two different life circumstances, and you can really drop into a character very empathetic way when you imagine the circumstances of a have to go to party versus a want to go to party. And it kind of just opened me up to, you know, that kind of empathy in my relationships with people too, because you kind of start to see their character through the language that they choose. So she definitely dropped me into my purpose as a storyteller, and it was her that actually motivated me to stop whining about not getting the roles I want and do something about it. And so I started taking a writing class at UCL Extension, so that I could start saying what I wanted to say as an artist, like, you know, empower myself in my voice and go ahead and take the pen in my hand and create that. So.
Mm-hmm. Man, big shout outs to Diana. Thank you for helping Nicole out. Look what you transformed her into. You got her mind going from plan A to plan B, and she's doing big things right now. Big shout outs to you again, Diana. Now, everybody that's watching Worldwide right now, you need to do like what Nicole just said. I mean, if you have someone that can help you through what you're trying to get through, as far as goes in this business, even if it's not in this business of television, movie, entertainment, media, lean on that person. Get the advice. If you know they're positive with it, make sure you run with it, because they're going to help you excel to the next level. Once again, we're looking at one right now, Nicole. Look at what she's done. She's doing big things. Now, Nicole, this movie, wow. This movie, let's talk about it. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you wrote and produced this movie, correct?
I did.
Transference.
Yes, I did. I wrote and produced it. I had written a couple of other screenplays, which were a large budget. I have a very big imagination, and that tends to translate on the page. And found it's pretty difficult to get people to read your work, much less make it, you know, especially when it's a multi-million-dollar budget. So my goal in writing Transference was to write something that I could finance myself. And so I kept it small. You know, I made sure that the locations were kind of one or two different places that we would be able to kind of work around. We hired non-union actors, and yeah, we got really lucky with the cast. We was shot in Atlanta, which is a right to work state, so even some union actors came on board and like really served the project. Our lead actress Lauren Boogly, she just brought so much humanity to the character of Camille, and I was definitely inspired to write this piece particularly. I had seen a public service announcement in 2005 about a little girl who was pushing a dead girl on a swing. She was on the seesaw with a dead girl. She was pulling a dead girl around in a wagon, and it said survivors of sexual assault have to carry a dead part of themselves around with them for the rest of their lives. So I wanted to take that horrible thing that survivors live with, and I wanted to use it as a metaphor in a story and show the process of healing through something traumatic from your past. And so it's a little bit of a crossover genre in that way, because it's a horror movie with a message. But yeah, it was really fun to kind of take that story and see the arc and the transformation of the characters come to life on the screen.
Wow. Now, taking it from your mind to the paper, to the screen, was that a hard process for you? I'm just going to say step A, B, and C. That's the best way to put it.
I would say this is like the most disciplined I've ever been with my writing. My second screenplay probably took 3 years to write because I just didn't sit down and write it, and there was nothing motivating me other than just wanting to like have that as a outlet, a creative outlet. This I started writing in October of 2018. We went into pre-production. I got my first draft done by January of 2019. We went into pre-production April. Shot in July and had the final cut by February 2020, and then shopped it around. And so, as with any indie film, you come across, up against obstacles, shooting schedule, budget, ego. But, I gotta say, how lucky am I? You know what I mean? I got to do that. And I learned a lot about the process. And I found out that I actually really love being behind the camera instead of in front of the camera. I mean, I would definitely work as an actress again. I would, if somebody had a part for me, I would definitely say yes and do that. But I felt like I was in my true element, being behind the camera and watching the whole thing unfold from from script to screen. I was very much involved in the whole process of editing and post-production, and that was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Now, speaking of that, is it harder wearing the hat of a filmmaker compared to a hat of an actress?
So for me, I think it was a lot easier in this instance because I financed it myself, so I was the boss. So at the end of the day, it was my vision. I really got to fight those creative battles and win a lot of them when it made sense, for time and money and all of that stuff. As an actress, for me, I never felt that empowered, to be honest. I always felt like I was a cog in somebody else's wheel. So I actually prefer the filmmaker hat to the actress hat. Now when I do it, like I've had people, say, oh, we've got this project, I just have fun with it. It's not my career. It's not my business. Because for me also with acting, it's like, I would, the year I actually retired, I went to Canada on my ex-husband's work permit, and I probably went to Canada 100 times that year for auditions and whatever, and landed a few, and it amounts to about 30 seconds of screen time, and then you cut that down to put it on your reel, and then you're like, this is what I can do as an artist. But it's not. I have so much more in me. I have so much more to give, and that's why I found theater. As an actress in theater, definitely love that, because it's like play, and every night is a different night, and you have the audience that gives you that feedback, on a nightly basis. It's like you could feel like you had a really off, shitty night, and the audience is like, oh my God, that was so great. And you're like, wow, it's really not about me. This has nothing to do with me. This is literally about like how the person, like when somebody's at the museum looking at a painting, you know what I mean? It's like their interpretation of it is probably completely different than what Picasso had intended, but you don't get to actually be in control of how the audience receives your work, and I think that was very eye-opening for me. That it's like, so maybe I'm a little bit of a control freak, because in this process, I felt like I had a little bit more control over how things came to manifestation, fruition, or whatever. I felt like there was a little bit more control in that process.
Wow. Now, everybody that's watching worldwide, once again, if you feel like that you do have that skill to write, to become a filmmaker, don't sit in one realm saying, well, I'm an actress, I'm scared to actually take that step. Like I said earlier in the show, Nicole is multi-talented. Look at what she's doing, and she's enjoying the filmmaking life. She still says she will come back to be an actress, if that part comes up, but she's enjoying writing this. So you never know what's going to come out of Nicole's pocket. When I say that, I'm talking about the next film, the next movie. You never know. This woman has a brain on her, and I'm telling you, a lot of stuff's going to come out. It is. Now, so please, if you feel like you can do it, try it. Go out there and try it. Now, Nicole, question for you. Let's put your actress hat on for 1 second. Now, we will go in the time machine. We'll go back in time. Now, if you can name one actor and one actress that you would love from your childhood to work with in their prime, who would it be?
It's funny. So one actress definitely would be Meryl Streep. She is just such a master at her craft. She is so inspirational and deep in range, so definitely would have loved to have worked with Meryl Streep. From my childhood, I'm going to go back. I'm going to say, Robin Williams, which is kind of interesting because I wouldn't say that he's necessarily my favorite actor, but as a child watching him play Mork and Mindy, I just loved how silly he was and how much fun he looked like he was having doing that. And I know from people who've worked with him on movies and stuff like that, they say that he's just so much fun on set. So I think that would have been a really, really fun time. Plus he was such an amazing artist to have been able to work with him. And then, also Anthony Hopkins, who I actually did get a chance to work with in an acting class. He coached us one time in an acting class. And that was quite amazing. He is the master of doing less and having it say more. I mean, it was amazing. He has such a presence and such an energy to him. So obviously being able to work with him in that kind of not only just classroom setting, but on set would have been just mind blowing.
Of course. Now, you know what? I really believe if if Robin Williams was still alive right now, and everybody had a chance to work with Robin, I bet you time will fly by on the set because you're going to be laughing just as hard when the camera's not rolling compared to when it is rolling. Now, exactly. I do remember also the Mork and Mindy days, the Nanus and all that stuff. I definitely remember. Yes.
Nanu. Yes. Shaw's Butts. Do you remember Shaw's Butts?
Yes, I do. And that's what I was saying. His character came out so much. I don't care if he was doing Mork and Mindy or he was doing Miss Doubtfire. It doesn't matter which version you get of him. Yes,
in his dramatic roles, did you ever see the no, I'm not gonna remember it, but where he played the homeless man? That was a really good. I can't remember it right now off the top of my head. Anyway, and also Good Will Hunting and all of his more serious roles. He's definitely really, really great actor.
I forgot about Good Will Hunting. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dead Poet Society. He's got a lot of great, stories that he's told.
His resume is actually up there. Anybody that's watching right now, if you had a chance to work with Robin Williams in the past, congratulations to you. I mean, seriously, congratulations, because that's something that you need to put on your resume and keep it up there. I know you have fun. I know you did. Now, you know what? We talked about your childhood. We talked about how you started this career. Now, like I said, your career is on fire right now. Now, are there any other projects that you're working on right now that you would like to let everyone know about?
So I have a Burning Man comedy that I wrote about my mother. It's a three-hander, 3 generations of women go to Burning Man. And it's kind of in-your-face, raunchy, hangover comedy. So I'm shopping that one around right now. If it's a big budget movie, so if I don't ever get the funding for it, I probably would just downsize it and make it kind of more of a Wes Anderson theme kind of smaller budget kind of thing and shoot it myself. I definitely want to try my hand at directing this next time around. So yeah, that's the one that I'm currently working on, and I have a couple ideas floating around for my next project to produce myself. I might do a short. And then I have another idea for a full-length feature. So yeah, just but the one that I'm shopping around right now is called Tripping with Mom, and it's it's about my mom who's literally crazy, and I love her.
Big shout out to your moms. Yes, we got to bring her on the show next time. We definitely do.
That would be interesting. Okay.
Yeah, yes, it would. It would. And I forgot to ask you also about Transference. When the movie is ready to be out, how will everybody be able to get to see it?
Well, it's actually already out. It's on Amazon Prime right now.
So you have released.
Yeah, we're on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you can link, if you're able to link anything to this, but I can send you the link and you can link it to this podcast for people to check it out. So we've been out under a month. Distribution happened really quick. We were going to do a theatrical release, and because of COVID, they're we're just going to go straight to streaming. And so we just up and running, and here we are. So, and it's getting really great reviews. We're getting really great feedback on it. And I'm really excited to have my creative baby out in the world. So watch, go out and go check it out.
Everybody, make sure you go check out Transference, but not right now because you're watching this interview. After this interview, go check out Transference. We want to see this movie. I know you want to see it. This is a blockbuster. Make sure you do go check it out. Now, talk about checking something out, Nicole. What is the best way for everyone to actually follow you on social media so they can actually check out what you're doing in the future
Excellent.
and up now?
So my Instagram handle is Nicole Cannon, and the O's are 0. So NIC0 LECANN 0N. On Twitter, I always forget what my Twitter thing is, but I think it's like Nikki Can or something like that. I don't remember what my Twitter account is. And then on Facebook, I'm just Nicole Cannon. And all of my profile pictures are a picture of me in a bathtub reading a book. And then, I don't know, the whatever other picture is my film. So that's how you can find me.
Nice. So everybody, if you find a lady relaxing in the bathtub with a book, it's Nicole. Make sure you follow her. Definitely make sure you follow her. And you know what, Nicole, I'm gonna tell you something that's a little funny. I think nobody, I ain't gonna say nobody. A lot of people can never remember their Twitter handle name. Nobody can remember. Like with me, I can't remember mine. I'm not sure.
I'd have to look it up.
Coop or exactly. I'm the same way. Instagram, Facebook, I can remember it. Twitter.
I know. It's weird.
Yes.
Also, because some people's like username is different than their Twitter handle, so I think that's why too. And my username is my name, so it's not like I'm like vote for X, Y, and Z or something, or like I'm not gonna get political, but yeah. So it'll say Nicole Cannon, and then I think it's like at Nikki Can. I think that's probably the handle.
Nice. Everybody, make sure you go follow her. Keep up with her. Like I said, she got stuff in her head. You don't know what's going to come out of her. You don't know what she's doing next. Follow her on social media so you can find out. You want to keep up, Nicole. She's doing big things, everybody. Make sure you keep up with her. Now, Nicole, I know you're a busy woman, so I'm not going to hold you up much longer. But what advice would you give any male or female that wants to become an actor, an actress, movie producer, film director? What would you tell them right now?
So I think that luck is when preparation meets timing. And so I think that's really important to study your craft. Know what it is that you want to say and put out in the world as an artist. I think it's very important to be in your purpose in that. I think that it's important to have a spiritual practice or a self-care practice. For me, it's meditation, yoga, hiking, nature. That's definitely something that really grounds me. And, the business sometimes can get a little bit frustrating. And so that you don't get burnt out, I think it's really important to do theater. If you can do plays and theaters and be in class and have another creative outlet just to kind of keep those creative juices flowing, I think it's really important to stay creative on all. Like, I don't know if you play a musical instrument, but just having a practice of staying in your creativity so that if, it's slow or the opportunities aren't coming, you don't get discouraged, because you got to see it as a marathon. It is a marathon, and you have to keep your eye on the prize. And you just have to keep going. And it's really good when you can be purposeful in that. Like, this is what I want, and goal setting. I think goal setting is really important.
Yes. Everybody, I hope you're taking notes right now. Nicole is dropping jewels. This is something that you want to keep up with. You want to know how to move up in this business. You have to have a thick skin. You have to actually remember 100 no's equals 1 yes. Am I correct about that, Nicole?
100%.
So make sure you do not let a no knock you down where you don't want to continue to go. You keep doing it. Keep doing it till you get to the goal that you want to get to. Now, Nicole, last segment of the show. It is called Take the Floor. Now, Nicole, you have up to minutes to say whatever's on your mind. No questions asked. Nicole?
Wow. Okay. So I think that during these really chaotic times, a lot of stuff is coming up for people right now. And I know it has for me. I think it's been a huge time to turn inward and reflect on the future, which is very uncertain at this moment. Hopefully it won't be in a couple of days, but at this time it's a little bit uncertain. And I think within that turmoil and chaos that's happening in the external world, it's really important not only to treat yourself with love and kindness, but to also treat others with love and kindness, because we never know what anybody else is going through. And I think it's really easy to take all of this like uncertainty and project it in a negative way out in the world and create more chaos and more uncertainty. And if you can just be kind and loving to yourself and kind and loving with others, you know, we will all get through this really, really crazy time. And, you know, blessings to everyone, grace to everyone, and just hang in there. We got this.
Yes. Nice. Everybody, words of encouragement from Nicole. Once again, make sure you do check out Transference. Check her out on social media. You want to keep up with her. She got a lot of things in her head. Once again, I'm not trying to sound like a parrot or a mockingbird, but it's something big. I'm telling you, she's going to be dropping a lot of things. I see it coming. Go to Amazon. Check out the movie. Make sure you do that. Everyone, like I said, do not take a no for an answer. Continue to do what you're doing. Now, Nicole, I would love to have you back on in the future.
I would love that. Definitely. 100%.
Nice. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next guest coming soon. And of course, I'm not announcing it now. Go to Amazon after this show. Once again, go get Transference. Watch it. Until the next time, everybody, on the Big Scoop with Coop.